Hey guys, it's Amy from Ara Ara here for another episode of Kotaro Lives Alone. I actually missed a few key points that I took down of that I forgot to mention. So just for the proof that I think Kotaro was neglected or abused was the fact the things he knows, how he is and who he is a lot of what comes from the TV. And he had no one else to look up to. He had just the TV to guide him where were the adults, and it's just that it's a good thing that Tonosama is a show where its themes are about being respectful, kind, and strong. Because if this kid was looking at the TV for guidance, this could have gone a completely different way. If Kotaro was watching some other show, was influenced by another show, he would be very, very different. And I guess what also makes Tonosama very special was the flashback he had of a woman on the table and she smiles. I'm going to assume that that's his mom. And what he was doing prior to her smiling was copying Tonosama. So it kind of garnered this idea in him that if he copies Tonosama, mom will smile, basically. So it's just something that he holds very dear just because a simple act like a smile existed. And I also wanted to mention trauma responses to like what he experienced, that just because he didn't take a bath he'll hate it, and it sounded super over dramatic. But whatever Kotaro has experienced in his life that led him to think that way can't be invalidated. And I think that goes with anyone who's experienced anything traumatizing, that to you it might seem like an overreaction, but you don't know what this person has gone through for them to feel a certain way about this specific thing. I am, in a way, a psychologist or psychiatrist or anything like that. Again, it's just my thoughts. I'm just trying to analyze and comment on my thoughts on the show. So anyway, let's go ahead and watch episode 3. I just noticed in the intro there's a character that we haven't seen before, so might be someone relevant as well. I mean, she's not in the building, so.
Excuse me, sir. Is that safe? You just have so many balloons. I am afeared you might fly away.
Do you want a balloon yourself, too? What color do you want?
Well, red, blue, and
Oh, it's just one per person.
one per person.
I never really thought.
I shall take the red one. I'd like a balloon, please.
Hey, weren't you here before?
Before, what were you talking about? Was the little boy from before wearing a cap like mine?
Oh, he changed his outfit to get past the one per person rule. That's fine. What color do you want?
I got red for my younger sister, so next is a blue one for my younger brother. I'd like a balloon. Pink for my mom.
For your mom?
Sir, are you saying my mother is undeserving of a balloon?
No.
You should apologize to the mothers of the world.
I'm sorry.
How you doing? I'd like one balloon, please. Light blue for my father.
Thought so. Next one's gotta be for himself. I wonder where his folks are. I haven't seen anyone with him all day.
My dear sir, can you please draw faces on these? One boy and one girl. And also an adult man and an adult lady's face, please.
I wonder where that kid went with all those balloons. Hey, there he is. He's by himself again. He kept all those balloons for himself. Really? Did I get played?
Oh shit. No, the episode started.
How long do balloons usually last, anyway? I hope that those will last. At least a little while.
I think it's really sweet that your brother always comes to pick you up after school.
Hey, that's an improvement from father to brother.
Oh, great, it's my editor. I'm sure he's just gonna rip it apart like he always does.
Is that so? Well then, I suppose I shall accompany you.
Huh. I didn't know you had a kid, Karino.
I am but his neighbor, good sir.
Oh. Ha 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 ha. You brought your neighbor? Whatever. Okay, down to business then. Your drawings are still old school. I'm not a fan. Ha 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 ha. I mean, just look at the one on this page.
I think this one is actually quite well done.
Also,
Stage.
this
That one's
one.
fine. It's perfect. Have you considered you might be overthinking things? And do you have the creative prowess to back up these criticisms that you are making? Here, why don't you draw something?
Knock it off! Would you just be quiet? I'm so sorry.
Ha 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 ha.
A moment, please.
Of course.
Now that we are alone, may I request that you abate your bullying of Sir Karino post-haste?
I know I give him some blunt feedback on his work, but I never thought of it as bullying. What sounds like harsh feedback is my way of helping Karino grow into the artist I know he can be.
I see. It's helping him grow.
Looks like Karino found his own private bodyguard. Ha 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 ha.
The contrast in the thoughts is just that
Your editor
moment.
is likely a good person.
Huh?
You should give your best effort to make him proud of you.
This isn't good.
I do agree. Not good at all.
Huh? I thought he was on my side.
Hello, Kotaro!
I am here to request that you accompany me on a shopping trip. It is my goal to be popular and attractive.
Oh, he must have a crush on someone at school. Do you really think it's necessary to keep pointing that sword at me? I thought we were friends now.
We are acquaintances at best, so I must keep my guard up.
So tell me about the girl.
What?
Don't play dumb. I won't tell anyone.
I do not have a crush on anyone.
Could I have a word with you, sir?
Huh?
Customers have been complaining about a man lurking outside of the dressing room.
Sir Tomaru!
Huh?
How do I look? Do you like it?
You look so cute!
I see. Excuse me, sir. Do you think I look cool?
Yeah, you look real cool.
And you, madam, would you say that I am good looking?
You're adorable.
He's asking everyone, eh? Maybe it's not a crush. Who exactly are you trying to impress with all of this anyway?
Everyone, of course. I heard on the TV that stylish gentlemen are more popular and therefore have more friends. When everyone is your friend, it means that no one will ever hate you again.
Does he live around here? This neighborhood isn't safe with thugs like him wandering around.
Listen to me, Kotaro. Closed-minded people always hate what they don't understand, whether you're stylish or not.
Is that the truth?
Yep. And you know what? Even if you're not the most stylish kid out there, I'm still your friend.
What is the nature of your relationship with this child?
Sir Tomaru does not deserve this treatment. He is my friend.
Kotaro!
I let my guard down.
Thanks so much for selecting me. I'm Mika.
Good evening, Lady Mizuki. I have come here with the intention of selecting you.
Okay, enough. Time to go home.
What's gotten into Kotaro lately? Thanks so much for choosing me. I'm Miki.
Lady Mizuki, may I ask who this Miki person is that you speak of?
Listen, I think it's sweet that you want to hang out with me, but I really don't think you should be coming to a place like this.
Well, my coming here and selecting you means that I get the pleasure of your company.
It's good, isn't it? The landlord's calling.
May I ask what that was about?
My lease is up on the apartment. I've lived here for quite a while now. Maybe it's time for something new. What am I saying? Now that you're here, I can't move. I'd be way too lonely without you. So, guess I'm renewing my lease. What? He left?
Lady Mizuki, if I come here and select you every day, does that mean you will be able to stay with me forever?
Let's try this again, shall we? Thank you for selecting me. My name's Mizuki. Don't worry, because I select you too, Kotaro.
Not again.
Hey, Kotaro, come take a selfie with me.
Selfie?
Yeah, a picture of you and me to remember our perfect little picnic date.
I don't know.
Hey, Mizuki, would you like an ice cream cone?
While I appreciate the ice cream, you know you weren't actually invited, Karino.
Interloper.
How'd you get ice cream all over your face? You're so cute.
Just stand still so we can take a picture of you?
I am ill-disposed to having my picture taken.
Forget it. I give up.
You need to draw your women and children much cuter than this. Ha ha ha.
Huh.
I love the editor.
You hid your face during the group photo for the ceremony, too. Are you afraid of having your picture taken or something?
I want him out here right this second! He's my son! I saw his picture on your website.
Guess he's someone's dad. He's kind of scary. I hope he leaves soon. I must not ever have pictures taken of me. No matter how happy the memory may be.
Here.
What is this?
Since we couldn't get a good picture yesterday, I gave one to Mizuki, too.
It needs some work, but it is good.
Kobayashi, starting today, this will be your new assignment. Every week, you'll deliver money to the resident living at that address.
Huh? This must be a joke. Is this even a lawyer's job?
This assignment comes straight from the top. Oh, and Kobayashi?
Thank you so much for coming. You must be the new person in charge of my account. Please, come inside for a cup of tea.
They said he was a child, but I didn't think he'd be this young.
Let us toast to new beginnings. Cheers. Well, Lady Kobayashi, I shall now perform my favorite song for you. Here is the opening theme song for Tono-sama.
I've been waiting for this! I even brought a tambourine!
Oh my gosh, you came prepared.
Ah, yes. The party cannot begin without tandoori chicken. Pardon me, I shall prepare a plate for you.
Tandoori chicken? Here's your allowance for this week.
Apologies for the inconvenience. And this is a little something for your trouble. May I ask you something? Where did this allowance come from?
When you get there, he'll throw you a welcome party, so just make sure you play along.
Huh?
He's going to sing you a song. Here, bring this tambourine. When he asks where the money comes from, tell him it's a donation from a generous person.
Where does it actually come from?
The money comes from his mother's life insurance.
Life insurance. Then does that mean she's... Poor kid has no idea. It's a gift from a very generous donor.
Your predecessor would always tell me the exact same thing. They also said it would be impossible for me to ever meet that person. Since I cannot meet my benefactor, I shall be generous to all of you. Do you think that my generosity would be able to reach that person through you?
I do.
That's great.
Are you checking up on me?
Guess I was a little worried about you. Did you look at your gift yet? It's a week's worth of that kid's journal entries. I wonder sometimes how much he actually knows about the money, and why he gives these to us.
I want to be the one to take on this assignment going forward.
Okay, I'm counting on you.
It's a kid. Thinks he's weird. Cute. I just noticed the outros put in what's going on in his life. So, like, now you have the lawyer, the little kid that he plays with from school, the balloon guy. So, the outro is always different. This episode covered a lot. That balloon part of the episode was heartbreaking. Okay, so I honestly thought that when the balloon stuff happened, it was, oh, maybe Kotaro was. Because, I mean, it's pretty much established that Kotaro is the kind of kid that puts other people's happiness first just to keep the peace around him. For very obvious reasons, yeah, that, I mean, we've seen a little bit of a flashback of his dad. But anyways, I'll talk about that a little later. So he's the kind of kid that puts other people first. So I always thought that when he saw those balloons, like what he said, right? Like, oh, someone muscular should have this job. So I thought he was buying the balloons to help out the guy, so he doesn't fly away like, oh, poor guy. Like, he was probably thinking, this poor man, he needs to do this for a living. Let me just help him out by buying some of his balloons. And the actual reason on why he bought those balloons was shown. It was so heartbreaking. It was very painful to see. I also like how in this episode, Kotaro also realizes that just because someone is being blunt and honest with you, just because they criticize you, doesn't mean that you care for them any less. There are ways to let people learn and grow without always trying to be nice and perfect. Sometimes, it needs some honesty. And if there is someone that's a little bit hard on you, criticizes you objectively and isn't hurting you in any way and doesn't demean you as a person, then you should put in your best efforts to make them proud and be better. And then this episode also reiterated what I mentioned last episode about how Kotaro doesn't want to be hated. And I think compared to the other episodes where it was Kotaro teaching life lessons to the grown-ups, he learned something from Tamaru, right? That's his name. This time. And it's a very, very simple lesson. But I believe that it's a lesson that was very hard for him to swallow because, again, we are talking about a kid who believes that he has this role to play. And that role is to ensure that everyone around him is happy. So he has to be perfect. He has to make everyone happy. But then he learns that, being honest with yourself, that's enough for someone to stay around if they really do love and care about you. And yeah, the thing about his father being abusive, and it just shows another trauma that Kotaro has, which is not wanting his picture taken just because of that little snippet. We find out a little bit of why he's alone. So his father's abusive. He looked like he was in an orphanage because there were a bunch of kids talking, wondering whose father it was. So yeah, so he was in an orphanage. I have no idea why he's alone now without a guardian. That still makes no sense to me. Like, okay, he has to stay away from his father. Just because his father found him doesn't mean he can't move to another orphanage or he can't live with any other family members somewhere else. I'm sure he has distant relatives. I know his mom passed away, but I don't know. It just doesn't seem like an excuse of why he's alone. I don't know if that episode was it to cover it. I mean, we'll just have to find out. But yeah, again, that's all my comments for this episode. Thank you again for watching. Again, this is Amy from Ara Ara. Don't forget to like and subscribe on our socials. I'm on at Still Lisa Amy, and obviously Ara Ara podcast and all the other socials. All right, that's it for episode 3. See you guys next time.